What's going on, everybody? Mortem here, this time bringing you some memories of the original Fallout. Now, I cover a lot of CRPGs on this channel, and notably, I have not reviewed Fallout 1 or 2, which are some pretty important ones, and I'm basically just finally getting around to it. That said, I have played these games previously, but it was a long time ago, like almost 20 years ago, which makes me feel incredibly old. I was actually pretty young at the time. I was only like 10, I believe, when I first played it originally in the early 2000s. And normally what I'll do is review games after 100%, but obviously this being such an old title, there's no achievements or anything for me to open up and prove that I 100% it right. And Fallout's one of those games that has been covered to absolute death by a very dedicated community. So my point is, my plan is to just kind of play through the game, maybe save some a few options here and there to see some of the quests I don't really remember, and then, as usual, throw a review out there. Now normally, reviewing games after 100% takes a while, and I will release first impressions videos. But for this particular title, I decided what I would do instead is take a bit of a trip down memory lane, and just kind of talk about some of the things I remember, some of the things I don't remember, etc. Now, right off the bat, I am playing the version that is available on Steam, which I mention specifically because the Steam version actually comes with a high-resolution texture pack, which is rare. Typically speaking, Steam doesn't honestly give you a lot of extra stuff to make base games, especially older games, more playable. So you can get games like Bloodlines, or say Dragon Age Origins even, that play very poorly if you don't go and download some extra stuff to make it more playable. But in this one random instance with Fallout, they actually already did that work for you, which is pretty notable in and of itself. So you can easily adjust the resolution and everything to fit on, say, a 4K monitor like I use, which was a nice surprise. I was expecting to have to download a mod or two. Now, one of the things that I think always does well in terms of memory is the sounds and the specific voice bites, especially in the intro. That you'll remember, it's hard to hear Ron Perlman say, "War never changes," and not get a rush of nostalgia off of that. But what surprised me the most is just how well a lot of the voice acting held up. A good chunk of the game is voice acted, not all of it, but all of the voice acting that is here for a game that came out in 1997 is incredible. Late 90s audio was not exactly known for being great, and considering my own audio is rarely amazing, I get it, but still. The voice acting for the original Fallout held up incredibly well, and I wanted to mention that right off the bat. And then the other thing I want to talk about is how much I was surprised that I just took to the systems again immediately. Now this might be because I play just a ton of CRPGs in general, but even an older one like this where I was expecting there to be some clunkiness, I would say a lot of it is surprisingly still pretty intuitive and stuff I just don't remember. There's some clunkiness around the inventory and certain systems, yes, but overall, I would say the game works remarkably better than I would have thought, especially for a game I played so long ago, which has absolutely no doubt helped people enjoy it over the years. And then one of the things I honestly don't really remember at all, so I don't remember if this was the part of the later patched versions of the game or if it was in the original at all, but there's actually a ton of customization options where you can really just help your experience along. You can speed up combat pretty significantly to make what is otherwise pretty slow and clunky turn-based action point combat much faster, which I've always appreciated. Games that let you just turn up the animation speed on that stuff have always been a big favorite of mine, but honestly I don't remember if that was part of the original or not. And then one more very specific memory that honestly made me laugh because I had forgotten about it. If you're unaware, companions in Fallout are the worst. Not necessarily that they're bad in general, but for starters they don't have a lot of story, but secondly, they're the worst in the fact that they'll just hit you all the time with their weapons. And I was doing that early game quest where you clear out the rad scorpions. It's the first proper quest you're likely to do. And I take Ian along with me because you meet him in Shady Sands. He's the first companion you get. And he helps out with this quest quite a bit. And I had forgotten how just prone your companions are to hitting you instead of the enemy. So if you're standing too close to an enemy or something, there's a very real likelihood your companion will actually wind up shooting you instead of the enemy. And I took more damage from Ian in my first hour or two of playing this game again than I did from anyone else, which honestly made me laugh at just kind of the kookiness of it. But beyond that, I had a lot of fun messing around with the character creator and the perks and stuff, because Fallout's special system is one of those systems that really stood the test of time. You actually see variations of this special system in a lot of places. Fallout, the franchise, obviously. But even in some other games, like for instance Lionheart Legacy of the Crusaders, actually uses Fallout's special system, though obviously slightly reskinned. And I've been having a lot of stuff from that. It's bringing some nostalgia for me from playing games when I was just not even quite a preteen yet. And it's been honestly just a fun walk down memory lane for me so far. Now, there's a lot of stuff going on in terms of games in the next couple weeks, so my plan is to play the original Fallout here just kind of intermittently off and on, so I don't know exactly when I'll have the review for it up. But it is nonetheless the CRPG I am working on currently. I thought I'd share some fun memories with people, and just some of my initial experiences playing a game that I have not played in a very, very long time, like 20 years, which made me feel incredibly old the second I thought about it, but here we are. That said, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. By all means, let me know about your memories with this game down below, or if you're interested in trying it out for the first time, I'd love to hear that too. But regardless of any of that, truly, just thank you so much for watching and listening to me ramble like an old man. But in the meantime, may you wander in wisdom and have an amazing day.